Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Seventh Rule Roundtable with Cirroc Lofton.
Hello.
We're joined by, with, and from Homer Frizzell. What the
Oh,
Commander
that was
John
amazing.
Tuparella. Dr. Susan B. Gruner, Mayflower descendant. Malissa Longo, Green Anomaly Farer. Katie Carr, ballerina. Dr. Anne-Marie Siegel. Mr. Bill Erickson out in the blue skies of Montana. Dr. Mohammed Noor, cockroach expert. Jesse Taggart in a jungle somewhere. Ed O'Connell out in Florida.
New Jersey.
New Jersey. Jesse's in Florida.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yvette Blackman Tom out in New York. TJ Jackson Bay in Missouri. Titus Moeller in Virginia.
Yep, that's right.
First things first, we wanted to record this one really quickly because Jesse has a really interesting theory about Discovery. If you haven't watched Discovery episode 6 yet, now this isn't a spoiler, it's just a theory, right?
Yeah, it's just a theory, and I mean, it ties together everything from Enterprise to even Next Gen in a way. But I think the origins of Section 31 lie in the 31st century with the Temporal War. That's where Daniels was from. The burn was probably the key event for all of it. Why else would the NCC 1031 show up in the 3100s if not for Giorgio to go back and be part of the destiny of Section 31?
Wow.
So I think Glasses already knew who she was and was figuring out where in the timeline she was.
Mm-hmm. Any thoughts on that, guys?
It's all a theory.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Never mess with this space-time continuum.
I like it.
Also, some of you may know that Jesse here is wearing a mustache. This is for Movember. A lot of us are promoting this. Mr. Bill Erickson out in Montana, do you want to say a few words about that? We will include this link that he's about to talk about in the description box below. It's very important, very poignant.
All right. So every year, so usually y'all see me I have a nice bearded goatee thing. But come the 1st of Movember, I shave it all off and I grow a mustache. And the mustache is a mo. And you grow a mo to save a bro. See? Rock a mo, save a bro, right there. And the idea is that it's about promoting men's health, starting with prostate and testicular cancer, but also mental health issues. 3 out of 4 suicides in the world are men. 60 men per day die from suicide. And so there's a few things. So I'm raising money for awareness, but also for research into cure to help make this thing go away so that we have less reasons to die and more reasons to live. And that's what it's all about. It's about living and then, also checking in on your bro, making sure that they're okay. First off, get checked if you're of a certain age. And that certain age is going to require something that's very pointed. And not comfortable for men, but you know what? Women go through worse through their whole lives, and
Good point.
You can live with it. You can live with it. Getting your PSAs checked, getting your prostate checked, checking your testicles out on a regular basis, other than for whatever reason that you normally do, is you got to keep aware of your health, and you got to take care of yourselves, and you got to take care of those around you. And there are those who suffer from depression after they go through treatments, and but also just the other things that men do, and that's what it's about: saving people, saving lives, doing good.
And men are more likely to succeed at suicide attempts, so it's
That's why 3 out of 4
important.
In your face, women. In your. I guess that's not something to be proud of being successful.
Yeah, make sure you see warning signs because otherwise there's no failed attempt to then start talking about it.
And that's the good thing about, so the link that Ryan will put up there has a link to my Movember page, and on the Movember page there's information, and it talks about not only the prostate and testicular health stuff, but also about suicide and how to how to reach out to people and how to communicate, and how to have a conversation with someone who you are worried about. That whether it's a man or woman, and it's a good thing that you have that awareness of those around you and those in your circle, and oh man, statements like, oh crap, I'm just so tired of all this crap. I just can't take it anymore. And and that can be just an offhand comment. But if it's something, where you haven't seen this person in a while and they have been pulling themselves out of life, then it's a way to reach out and how to reestablish a conversation and to bring them out so they can, point them in directions where they can get help. Shoot, heck, I go to therapy even because, well, I'm a hoarder. Can't tell, I'm sure. There's no signs of it in my house at all. But those grief and those kind of things, the sense of loss that comes out of that's where a lot of people get stuck in. And if you don't get somebody to help you to figure it out, it can be a bad thing. So that's what it's all about. That's why I do what I do. 10 years now. I'm a 10-year Mobro.
Wow.
And I want to thank
really
everyone,
cool.
And all the people in the chat pack who have already supported me. Thank you so much. It means the world to me. It really does. It really, really does. And y'all made my wife cry the other day too, by the way. I want you to know that.
I was just using your expression earlier today, like, it's dusty in here.
Yeah, it's getting awful dusty. It's getting mighty dusty.
I love that.
Yeah, so when you all gave me the shout out, and I played it for her and she cried. It was awesome. Almost made me cry. Thanks. Really appreciate that. I'm a jarhead. I don't cry.
So everybody that's watching this or listening in, definitely check out the description box below. We'll include the link. Bill has a goal of $1,000. Let's please help him get there. It's a really worthy cause. It's very cool, especially, Bill, you're talking about suicide. And as we know, suicide numbers are way up this year. So it's especially important on a day and a year and a month like this. I know a lot of people are hurting for cash, but when you're hurting for cash, that other people probably are too. And then you start thinking, well, maybe I can put in $5. You know what I mean? Like you can kind of figure out a way. And it's a lot of times it's also just the thought that counts. All that matters is that you're showing support and people really appreciate it. But anyway, Homer, you're also sporting a mustache too, right? It's looking pretty sharp.
Yeah, I'm also Movembering. This is my second time ever, and I have a less lofty goal, but every bit helps.
Oh, you've got a link as well.
Yeah,
I do.
Both Homer and Jesse both are both on Movember.
Great.
And I have to contribute to those guys. Ooh, I forgot. Ooh, we better do that.
Please send those links to us, guys, so we can include those as well.
Yeah.
Please do. I also want to add that I just recently lost a friend yesterday to suicide, as a matter of fact. So this issue really hits home. His name was Johnny Newmiller. And, those of us that are left behind and kind of trying to deal with this loss, all of us are thinking, man, we just wish he had reached out to us and just had that conversation. We could have maybe helped them in some way and just been a shoulder to lean on. And so many people, when they're in that kind of desperate situation, don't reach out to people or don't feel like they can talk to anybody. But I encourage you to talk to people, and there's so many people out there that want to do whatever they can to make sure that you get out of that funk. And so I appreciate what you guys are doing to raise awareness for this thing. It's a very real thing that people are going through every day, and it doesn't just hurt the immediate person, but it also hurts all the family and friends that lose the loved ones. So keep up the fight, man. Thank you, guys.
Oh, really sorry about that, Cirroc.
You too.
What do you guys think? Why do guys feel like they have to commit suicide at such a higher rate? Is it because dudes tend to share their feelings less, or they tend to reject help more?
You mean why they're more successful? Because
Right.
women try more, but
Interesting.
women, it's a lot of times more of a cry for help, so they won't it won't be complete.
Yeah.
Or men
Whereas men, it's just
yeah, that's a good point, Anne Marie. Men are problem solvers.
Yeah.
And so the problem is that I feel like crap. I'm a burden on life. The world would be better without me. Those are the kind of ideations that occur in a person. And so when you hear people talking that way, that's why it's so important to know how to talk to them and how to reach out and to get them to either, first off, talking to you. That's the first step, is that they talk to you. You get them talking to you. And then once they're talking to you, then you can help guide them maybe into talking to other people. The veteran community is really hard hit with this, really bad. That it's just why, I mean, especially combat veterans, but veterans of all kinds, they carry this burden, and it's a lot to do with that. Men don't reach out because it's a sign of weakness. Men don't do this, men don't do that, right?
Men don't keep their stuff up.
There you go, right there, Jess. That's it. And so we got to get past those barriers. That's the whole point of a lot of that's some of the stuff that's on the page, is that it teaches you helps you how to reach through those folks, reach through those barriers, and to get those conversations going to help them out. Whether it's a man talking to a man, a woman talking to a man, a man talking to a woman, woman to woman, whatever it is, it's the reaching out that's so important. Cirroc can make a valid point there that, if only you would have known. And a lot of times the signs are so subtle. The biggest one is if you haven't heard from somebody. I belong to the Vet TV community, which is a bunch of rather irreverent folks who are veterans. And text a bro, save a life is one of the things that we do there. And it's where text someone you serve with, let them know that you're thinking about them. How are they doing? Where are they at? What's going on? Because you can get into a dark place and you just can't pull yourself out. Whereas if you have someone who's reaching out, that helps get you back into life. And if you're back in, that's that, and then, like I said, and Anne Marie's point makes a valid point. Women try more. Men are mostly successful. 3 out of 4 actual suicides are men. Women aren't they don't quit. If they don't get the attention that they need, eventually they will succeed. And the same is true with men. Men will just, all of a sudden it's bam, it's done. And, a lot of people will put on a facade, they'll act that it's all okay. And, but it's not okay. And things are bad and I'm feeling like crap. And, I can't get over this time that I was wherever I was, or I can't get over the situation, or, I'm just a piece of crap. Nobody loves me. Those kinds of things. And, people get in that cycle and then they get stupid and they get destructive. And, they there's that old saw. It's suicide's a permanent solution to a temporary problem. But when you're in the middle of that problem, you don't see a way out. Not unless someone's there with a lifeline to help you out. And people are really good at hiding that pain. They're hiding, oh yeah, dude, hey, how's it going, man? Everything's fine. Yeah, I'm rolling along, blah, blah, blah. But if you have an extended conversations is where you really find where things are going on. If you're having superficial conversation, things can get by pretty easily. But a real conversation will show, wow, there's some serious stuff going on here. And I need to talk about it. We need to talk. What's going on, bro? Let's make it happen. And I don't know. I don't. I'm no psychoanalyst. I'm no psychologist. But I know people. I've been around for a while. And I had one of my young Marines when I was a brand new staff sergeant, and we all had a long weekend. And we came in on Monday, and he drove off the bridge. He took his car, an unfinished bridge in Moorhead, North Carolina. They were building the bridge across from Moorhead to Atlantic Beach. And he took his car, and people said he stopped at the bottom and revved up. And then he took off, and he went, and he killed himself. And I was like, what the hell? That was completely unexpected. Like, I'm like you are, Cirroc. I was like, I know, what the heck? What? No, that's bullshit. He did not do that. No way. He's not that guy.
Yeah.
You never, people you don't think are going to do that, but they get in that place, and if they aren't reached out to, and he'd been acting, you sit back and you look in hindsight, oh yeah, there was that. Maybe I should have said something then, or maybe I should have said something. Whenever you have that feeling, whenever you have that little voice inside you that says, maybe I should say something, say something. Always say something. And I mean, that's the only thing I carried out. That's a terrible thing to learn over a young man's death. But I learned that you ask people. I don't let a lie. I don't let stuff lie anymore. You got to go after it. You got to figure out what's going on.
Hey, Bill, what do you think is a good amount? I mean, like, you think it might just be good practice to say, hey, every Sunday, I'm going to reach out to 5 people that I haven't spoken to in a long time, man or woman. Just once a week, I just text or message or email 5 people I haven't heard from in a long time, just in case, just to check on them. Or what do you think is a good?
That's a good idea. I think that's a great idea. That's a good number. I mean, it's a good place to start. Any place even one text is a place to start. One call. A call is better because people talk. Text, people get away with some crap in some text, right? They can blow off pretty easy and with texting. And I think and another part of it is social media kind of isolates us in that, we have this wall, we have that computer screen between us and the rest of the world. And, it's easy to hide behind that and to play a certain role or whatever. And whereas a conversation where you have, but if it's a text conversation, it's a long one. You take a little while to go through there, but yeah, reach out. And texting is a good start, especially for this generation. That's a good place to start.
Right. Anybody else have?
Let's go with that. 5 per week. 5 per week.
I like that. Anybody else have any things to add on that?
I have to say, our friends over at Trek Geeks with Bill and Dan, and one of them was on the virtual TrekCon #1. They have this really, really beautiful, moving episode where one of them, it's okay to share because they did an episode all about it. One of them actually was going to commit suicide, and Star Trek, I believe Deep Space Nine, an episode just randomly came on television, and they were enjoying it so much they ended up not. So
yeah,
that's how much Deep Space Nine and Star Trek plays a role in everybody's lives. It's really deep. And make sure you check them out because it's such a wonderful episode.
Trek Geeks.
Yeah, that's the episode when O'Brien was thinking about killing himself. Deep Space Nine.
Wow.
Yeah, and Dan has told that story, and I think you can find it on their podcast as well. And I think he's done a talk about it.
But that's how much all of Cirroc's work and everybody's work means to the world. It's really beautiful.
Yeah.
My mom called me. My mom called me. Wasn't for her, I wouldn't be here.
Wow. Cirroc,
we owe your mom a debt of gratitude.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, I've heard other stories as well where, I mean, even a stranger saying something positive in the right moment to somebody who's in a state of mind like that can alter their decisions and make them come out of that depression. So I would even add that even if somebody that's not a friend, maybe you just see somebody down on their luck or somebody who's, begging for food or something, and maybe that one meal or that one conversation to have with them could make the difference in their life. So I would extend that just in general as much as you can to just be aware of people's behavior and try to bring that love and compassion.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Sometimes even a smile, just a smile, can go a long ways. I think about, the people we run across in our everyday lives that we don't know, that, maybe they're fussing or they're upset or something. And we don't know what they're going through, but, sometimes we can, either make the choice to judge that person by their behavior now or just still smile, and maybe that's the thing that brings them back.
Great point. Yeah, really, a lot of times we have all heard stories like that. Similar stories like that where just somebody saying something nice, or a random act of kindness, kind of just something that alters the trajectory of their thought process. Because a lot of times people that are suicidal, it's because they're stuck in the same cycle of thoughts, and they need something to take them out of that repetitive cycle of downward spiral thinking. That's a good point. Mohammed keeps nodding approvingly. Do you have anything to add to this, Mohammed?
Oh, well, I agree with everything that's been said.
Well, okay. Anybody else?
It's tough losing somebody to suicide. It's tough. There's collateral damage, not just the person, like we were talking about, that, it affects friends, family, and you wonder if you could have done something or said something. It's tough.
That is another thing that people that are suicidal don't think about. What's the most common thing that we hear about that is they think, oh, what's the big deal? People will miss me a little bit, but they'll get over it, or they'll, it'll be a nuisance. They don't realize that they're pretty much ruining the lives of the people around them. Yeah,
well,
forever.
You'll think about it for forever, for sure.
I just, I feel like a lot of people feel alone, and we just got to make people understand that they're not alone, that there's, that we care, and that there is hope. I mean, we've all had bad days and we've all been through bad things, but here we are, and we've made it through those things. So, if we can inspire and encourage people to have hope for some better days and better things that are ahead, it's not permanent. It's not a permanent.
Yeah, there's a fella I watch on YouTube. He does music reactions. His name's Jamel, aka Jamal. His name's Jamel Griffin. He's in California, and he plays all that old music that I like. But he talks about, he was raised in Compton. He came up out of Compton, and he said, he talks about the choices that you make, and how he made choices to not wind up on the street in gangs, going after the easy money. He worked hard. He continues to work hard. He's put together a good life for him and his wife. But he always talks about being a good human, being kind, being humble, being gracious, and how important that is to everybody. And, and he talks about, he just did a Phil Collins one where Phil Collins was talking about, the man on the street walking by and the lady's asking for help and the guy just keeps walking on. And how he could have been that kid, he could have been that person that's standing there asking for help. And so he, when you reach out to, you don't have to, it's not just the people that it also, like you say, it's that person that's down there on the street, that's out about, or that you run into and they're having a bad day, and anything you can do to make their day better would be a good thing. Just share some kindness, be a good person, it's not that hard to do. Sometimes it is, sometimes you want to, not, because that's how it goes. But other times, if you just reaching out is the big thing. Being good, being nice.
Yeah,
totally. Yeah, definitely. I would say, and I'm no expert on this, like some of you seem to be, but I've definitely known a few people very close to me that were very suicidal, and I was able to dodge the bullet many times over, knocking on wood here so far. But I would say the best way to help people, because sometimes, you can reach out to people and maybe they respond to it, maybe they don't. But in my experience, the best way to help people is to be a person that they would feel comfortable opening up to. I found that to be very important, is to just, you have to lead with that. You have to let people know and let it be, without a shadow of a doubt, that they know that they can approach you with a problem, because they're already going to look for any excuse to not talk about it or to not approach you. So you have to eliminate all of those excuses. Don't be abrasive. Don't be rude. Don't put them off. I keep hearing an echo. Anyway, that's the point of that. Is I just think that you always have to be the kind of person that somebody who might be very fragile or might be very closed off or might be looking for an excuse not to share things. You would still be a person that they feel comfortable, approaching with any kind of problem.
Yeah, and I would also add that to make that comfort level exist is not to be judgmental when somebody's telling you what they're going through that's making them feel that way. I mean, if whatever it is, you try to listen and try to take it seriously, but also try to be that support that they need, and not be mocking them for going through that situation, or calling them cowardly because they can't handle whatever it is. You need to really kind of deal with that with a sensitivity that's cognizant of what they're going through. So please, if anybody's calling and reaching out to you in this kind of way, please try not to be judgmental. Try to be open-minded and accepting of what they're saying, and do your best to listen before you respond and talk. Because most of the time it's just about somebody hearing them out and hearing out their grievances and just being a shoulder.
I also find that being honest with them helps. I mean, we've all hit that low point in life. We've all been, I would venture to say we've all thought about that final exit in one way or another. I unfortunately had to help a friend through it. He checked himself into a hospital, but he refused to tell anyone where his firearms were. So his family and the doctors looked to me, a 19-year-old kid, just, because I was his friend. And it actually took me sitting down, telling him why I wasn't in that room right now, and him visiting me. And I found out where he was keeping the stuff, and I got the stuff. I locked it up with this other stuff and got it out of his hands. But being honest with him and telling him that we've all been at that low point. In high school, I was, in elementary school and junior high school, I was picked on 24/7. I was a big sci-fi geek. I was one of the biggest people in the class, and I didn't fight. I wasn't someone who was taught to fight as a kid, so I was an easy target. I was emotional at times. I cried when they teased me. So I thought about it then. I don't know what back then stopped me from it, but sitting down with him in the mental ward of the hospital, making sure that there were no doctors around, and sitting there and telling him that, basically both breaking down into tears while we're talking, it helped. And it showed him he wasn't alone, and showed him that there is a way through it, especially if you have someone to watch out for you. It's a tough thing, but it makes you a good listener from then on. I've had people surprised that I can pick up on attitudes in text sometimes. Once you've been there, you do start picking up on little hints and stuff. And as a veteran myself too, you gotta be there for everybody. It doesn't come down to liking or not liking the person. It just having their back when they need it.
No man left behind. That's.
Go ahead, right there.
Everyone's sick, says speak up.
Fist bump me, bro. Fist bump me.
Yvette's a veteran too.
That's
right. Yvette, cough it up. Come on, sister.
Cough it up.
There we go. All right.
There it is.
Cool. It's funny because usually we sarcastically say, "Oh, we've done a lot of good here today," but this time we almost kind of did.
No, there's no almost kind of about it, Brian. I think we did a lot of good here.
I agree. And by the way,
I'm sorry. Not hiding the situation does a lot of good. Talking about it. I know I mentioned earlier that men don't cry, men don't talk about this. It's bull crap. Men should talk about this. Men should break down and cry when they feel like they need to. There's nothing unmanly about crying.
I think it's the sign of strength in a man who can cry, not a sign of weakness.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the old saying of man up and be a man, suck it up. It's done. It's finished. There is a time and a place for it when you're in a situation where you have to be tough. But when that is over, there's nothing better than a good cry. And that goes for both sexes. I've served with men and women, and I would give my life for men and women that I served with. I might default to the male gender referring to my brothers that I served with, but I mean both sexes. It's just a matter of age there showing.
Mm-hmm.
How we used to refer to the human race as the, male gender. And that's another thing that should stop. We're all in it together.
Can't do it alone.
No one can
That's
do
it.
it alone. Nobody.
Exactly.
Anybody else have any thoughts they'd like to throw in here, Star Trek related or not?
Henry, there's somebody behind you.
Yeah, don't look now.
There's someone real small behind you.
Oh yeah, this is Noah, and he's wearing a little space outfit with stars on it. Oh, and Lorna and my sister Rebecca. Oh,
Welcome to the
yes,
world,
yes.
Noah. It's a good place. You're gonna like it.
He's wearing an outer space outfit for you guys.
Yeah.
We're honored to see.
Awesome.
That is a little baby right out of the oven, practically.
Yeah.
He's premature, so he's negative 1 week now.
The youngest member of the seventh family.
Yeah.
Yeah. Welcome to the chat pack, bro.
And he's doing a lot of crying.
As he should.
What did you say his name was?
Noah Harrison.
No.
Lamb.
Got it.
Mm-hmm. I was pushing for Miles, but.
Oh, Lord.
There's new car smell and then there's new baby smell. I love the smell.
They're both excellent.
And they're both excellent.
Yeah, he's like, I recommend the new baby smell.
I have to talk to my daughter. I need a grandchild. Nice to meet you.
I am in no rush for a grandchild. My daughter just turned 18.
Oh, wow.
No grandchildren. My daughter just got engaged. I definitely don't want any grandchildren.
Congratulations on the engagement, though.
Yeah.
Oh, that has nothing to do with me.
Well,
I just have to pay for it.
Pass it on then.
So my auntie,
Thank you.
Auntie gonna come see you later, okay?
I'll see you in bed.
Also, Jesse, I'm sorry, I didn't realize that was a scene from the animated series
Oh yeah.
behind you.
Yeah,
I
the
see it now.
precursor to the holodeck.
I see it now, yeah.
Yep. What was it like? Some sort of recreational thing. But yeah, before Next Generation, the animated series first introduced the concept.
Nice.
Oh my gosh. I'm so obsessed with Lorna, who's helping because Noah was so premature. She's like the world's best nurse ever. I'm trying to get her to do a YouTube channel.
Uh-oh, we lost your mic a little bit.
Oh, wait. It came out, maybe?
No, we hear you now.
Oh.
Whoa,
Can you hear me now?
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay. Lorna's like the world's best, most highly recommended nurse ever to help because he just came out of the NICU. So I'm trying to get her to do a YouTube channel because she's like a fount of knowledge that they definitely don't teach you in medical school.
Do it.
We cover the full gamut here.
Yeah.
Life and
Yeah.
the beginning and the end, all in one
Right.
episode.
Yeah, right.
From one extreme to the next.
Speaking of which, another thing I'm just noticing right now, Malissa, looks like you are wearing a shirt of your brand new design of the chat pack. It's
Let's
so
see it.
cool. Check it out.
It is so cute.
Yeah.
That's us.
Chat
That's the
pack?
chat pack.
Love it.
Oh, wow. I thought that was
That's
a new
us.
Love it.
Okay, since I haven't got my last order from you, Malissa, you need to add one of those and charge me, okay?
We'll also
and-
include that in the description box below. It's walkingartmadebymmelissa.com. You
Yeah,
can order
same
that
here,
kind of stuff.
Lisa. Okay. Small.
What are you wearing, Ryan?
I'm wearing a vintage Meron Cisco Kid shirt design. I guess I could just stand up and stop being so damn lazy.
You're making sounds there, Ryan.
Let's see. Yeah, but that's a Cisco Kid design from Cirroc's sister. So check that out. That's AbyssinianKiosk.com. She also makes really cool designs like the one Cirroc is wearing right now too.
Oh yeah, I got one of those. This is my Africa.
Oh,
Sharp.
Like it.
Oh, and it has Madagascar on it.
Right.
I didn't
I
even
felt the
notice that
rings down
before.
there.
We added that there. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Represent.
Gorgeous.
And I got my fancy Cisco Kid gator too.
Nice.
Oh, let me, yeah.
There it is.
Oh, nice, nice.
So if you want a gator or a shirt or
a Christmas
we got
mug?
some, oh wait, hang on a second. TJ's got some show and tell here.
It's my my gator
Oh,
that
nice.
copied off
right.
of Homer.
Oh no.
Yeah, I got one. I got that color too, and then I got her to give me a green one.
Nice. And Yvette, you said that you've got one too? Is that you?
Yes, I do.
Nice. Man, good job, everybody.
It's the crown though. It's not the star. It's not the delta. It's the Ethiopian
The
crown.
crown. Yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's got the deepest red, and I love red, so it's wonderful. I wear it all the
I'm
time.
serious, Melissa. Add one of those shirts to my order. I mean it.
I don't think she's fighting you. I think she's okay with it. Great. Awesome. Well, that concludes the show and tell portion of the day, unless somebody else has something to show.
Oh, my chat pack shirt. I haven't shown it in Roundtable. My new chat
check it out.
pack
Wait,
shirt
hang
came.
on. Awesome.
And I heard that CNF is buried in there, but I haven't found it yet.
Pull
is.
up. Yeah, look.
Okay.
Stand up.
Okay.
So CNF
I have
is
to be on
right
my
there.
tiptoes.
So right underneath your microphone, there's the CNF is right there, right underneath your microphone. Right underneath where it goes together.
Okay.
I see it.
Yeah, and then there's RTH right there, and there's a CL in there. Yeah. I've
Oh, cool. I didn't notice that. That's so cute.
Right. That is the brilliance of J.R. Poole, by the way. Special thanks to him. He came up with that. Just suddenly he sends us this design. He said, hey, by the way, I have this completely finished, amazing design. Feel free to use it. So huge shout out to him. Really cool guy. Very super talented. We had no idea. And then he's like, by the way,
Great artist.
He's like, by the way, I've got some secret initials hidden in there. So that was fun to find.
So much fun.
Mm-hmm.
And that's at the Teespring store.
Oh yeah, by the way, that's teespring.com/the7th-rule. That is also included. That is our online store for anybody that wants to buy some of our goodies. God, dude, you guys, we got all your holiday shopping done.
And their discounts with the Patreon tiers. So make sure.
Right. 10%, 20%, 25% discounts with the Patreon tiers. Also, by the way, Teespring emailed us and said that for the next few days, there is free shipping on everything. So
shut up.
Nice.
Okay, fine, I will. Yvette's like, it was that easy to get him to shut up?
Right. Should have led with that.
All right, well, we better run, but thank you all so much for joining us for all the fun, for everybody that wanted to share and everybody that wanted to listen. It's been a good time, and we thank you all for being a part of the Patreon 7th Rule family. Everybody at home, check it out or don't. You could just share this video and subscribe and help us out that way. Any final words, final thoughts?
Hit the like button.
Oh yeah.
And comment. And then
Leave a
comment.
comment.
Google Pants in his analytics. They're very
Oh my
important to
gosh.
our success.
Like on your way in, comment on your way out.
That's the
There you
one.
go. Katie's got it. Katie knows it.
Nice.
Like button on your way in.
Also, final thing before we go, John, do you want to tell us about the USS Eisenberg?
So the Starfleet Command, world's oldest Star Trek organization, is what we our home. We launched the USS Aaron Eisenberg in honor of Aaron. Most of the crew that's here on the Zoom with us currently are our members, or at least part of our group that's on there. Yep, Sue's got her assignment orders.
Oh wait, hold that up for a second. There we go.
Oh, there it is.
Beautiful.
Sweet.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
A starship with an entomologist.
Perfect. It's awesome. It'll work out for
So-
species 847 too, I think, right?
Oh,
They seem
nicely
or
done.
a Zindi
Good,
insectoid.
That's the one. The
really
Indian sectoid. Yeah.
Cool. Thanks, John.
No
Were you
problem.
done with that, or did you have? Was there more to that?
I mean, we're still getting stuff together. There's a lot of stuff that we're going to be looking into going forward. And once we get past COVID and having everything locked down, I know one of the things we do Zooms an ungodly amount. At one point, we were doing them almost nightly. And
We're
I
still
know
going
that
for the world record.
we will be going for the world record at some point. I believe it's 26 hours straight.
That's a Deep
Up
Space
in one
Nine
day.
full day.
But I know, going back to the whole, the suicide and depression thing. The Zooms have definitely helped out a lot of people. So
Yeah.
it's
That's a good point, John.
it's brought
That's one
people
thing
together.
about. Yeah, that's a very good point. That allowing this technology allows you to reach out better. That's a very good point.
You get to see
Yeah.
people and interact with them as if you were in the room. Not the
Yeah.
same, but it's close.
Totally.
God, I think Ed, you and I have probably spent more time together over the past few months on Zoom than I spent with just about anybody.
I'm still not going to marry you, though.
Keep trying, John. Keep trying. Never give up.
I'm
Put a
not
ring on
buying
that
the
thing,
ring.
man. Put a ring on it.
That's Rex's baby.
Rex has my heart.
That's right. That's Sexy Rexy's baby.
Oh, okay.
Lucky Rex.
Oh.
Great. All right. Well, thank you very much, Homer, John, Sue, Malissa, Katie, Anne Marie, Bill, Mohammed, Jesse, Ed, Yvette, TJ, Titus, and Cirroc's hiding out right now, but he's still listening in. Thank you all so much for joining us, guys. We'll see you next time. It's the monthly roundtable. Sometimes we record it, sometimes we don't, but we always have fun, and we appreciate you guys joining in.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was nice. That was
Thank
really
you.
good.
Yeah, always remember the 7th rule, by the way.